What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Alice in the Borderland Netflix ending explained and review. And oh boy was this a great show that literally came out of nowhere and was recommended to me by Owen on my Discord. It's based on a manga of the same name, and while the name and the premise are a beyond loose style of the famous Alice in Wonderland novel, these are little similar except playing cards and being transported into another world. Now there will be spoilers and I will be focusing on the show, as I must say I have not read the manga and I'd love to hear your comparisons down below in the comments if you have, and I may check it out when I get some free time, but Cyberpunk 2077 has taken all of my time. Now we open with Arisu, who's the main character, and he's absolutely obsessed with playing games and shirking off all responsibility that he has in his real life. He's seemingly wasted his life and has become estranged from his parent and brother, and you may recognise the actor as he did play L in the live-action Death Note adaptation. His brother has arranged for an interview for him, and their mother has sadly passed away long ago. But we cut to one of Arasu's best friends, Karubi, who's a rough and tough guy, and he's one of the toughest guys in the group. And the final member is Chota, an office worker and I presume a Japanese salaryman. Now they all hate their lives and absolutely lack ambition, despite wanting to get out of their dead-end lives. Now while hanging out, they head into a toilet together, all platonic of course, but when they leave the stall they realise that every single person is missing as they wander the streets. Now the show starts off well enough and they find a building where they need to play a game seemingly to survive, and we meet a girl who seems to have seen some stuff, man, and lets her know the rules as they pick their phones needed to play the game. Now they need to play the game set up by what the characters refer to as the Game Masters to survive, and it's some sort of merge of Cube and Saw, two franchises which I really love, and I'm sure we're well overdue for a new Cube movie. Now they need to get around the game and they soon learn that you can die, as another girl who actually joined them as well absolutely cops it. But we realise Arasu as a game genius and helps them leave after using his photographic memory, and was able to help the group escape the building they were in. They're given a card and a 3-day visa that allows them some days off between games. Now, while I admit this was a slowish intro, I really enjoyed it and I really liked the chemistry between each one of the cast. Unfortunately, they do cop it later on, and they find that if you actually don't go along with your visa and you don't go to another game afterwards, a gigantic laser will actually kill you. We then see a glimpse of Usagi, who will be a major player later in the season, as Karubi and Arasu head to the next game, as the female survivor and Chota stay behind as he's damaged his leg. And in a weird subplot, they actually get down together as we learn of each of their backstories, and considering they both die in the following episode, it's just bizarre why they've done this, as we have almost like 5 episodes without this group. Now the next game is a survival, as the pair head and there's one killer hunting them down as they have to reach on the wall and press something to clear the game. It's a mess of a game as the pair see others working together, and those people have mysterious bracelets on that we would later learn are part of the beach community set up by a man called Hatter. Now, they work with the beach community people, as well as Usagi and Nejiro. Nejiro is a new character who is pretty much the opposite version of Arasu. Someone who is very clever and has a great memory and is good at the games, but he's a bit more charismatic and not so socially awkward, a bit more confident than Arasu. Now, they work to fight this hunter who is following them and playing their own game, as we found out later in the episode. They succeed and work together, and the game is won as Arasu and Nejiro press a button and the killer's neck thing goes off. And while they were playing the game, they had a map to the lowest tier of Game Masters, which we learnt later in the season, really in the last episode. And I presume this might be one of the dealers or plants in the game, but they had a game thing on their phone, so I'm not too sure on that one. Now, over the course of this, they hear that there is a beach that they should be going to, and they plan to do this. However, their visas are up, so they just need to play a new game first. So they head to an indoor garden where it turns out they're playing a hearts game. Hearts games usually mean death, but it also means you have a kind of messing with other people's hearts, or really a psychological game when you put it down to layman's terms. And you can clear these hearts games without dying, but really everyone wants to kill each other because they want to survive more than the other person. Now this is a hide and seek game, as the wolf needs to hunt everyone, but the people hiding, they fragment and the group kind of really fall apart. Now personally, I didn't like the episode ending of this, as by the end the friends decide to let themselves die to save Arasu, but I would have liked to see them survive, and seeing these characters interact with the beach group would have been a lot more interesting, in my opinion, as the show went on to the latter 2/3 of its season. But we learn that Usagi was taught to rock climb by a relation, and he was slandered and left home, probably explaining why she went it alone with the games. But she meets Arisu again as they meet up and remember each other from the other games. And they head to a game where the goal is, well, they think to leave the tunnel, but however the goal was the bus. Yes, the bus literally said goal. I mean, seriously, come on. Now, they then head to the beach, and the show really hits its stride here. The show was slow at the start, but it really does kick into second gear here. And, well, they chase a car where they think the beach actually are going. They find them with their wristbands, but they get there and are captured and taken to meet the beach executives. They learn that while if you have every card, you can actually leave. So they need to locate each one, but the lack of face cards and elusive 10 of hearts is a bit of a problem. There are executives in charge of the beach community, and all the cards are shared as a collective effort to actually get each one, but only one person can leave, which I guess sort of makes sense that they're doing this. Now, Najiri is also here, and it turns out that the man who helped him in the hunted mission when Najiri helped him too is the head of a militia corps, a group of psychos who have been tasked to really kill anyone who's not loyal, and Hatta has really started to lose it. Najiri then has the idea to steal all of the cards, and personally, I found this story a bit of a letdown, as the actor who played Najiri was really good and intriguing. I just wish there was a bit more added to this subplot. He recruits Arasu into his plan, and we would learn that, well, Hatta is killed as his visa is also up, as he's gone completely crazy and also trying to kill him, which the militia leader thought prudent to kill him to stop further indiscriminately killing, but then he goes on and kills everyone. Yeah, it's not really thought out there. Now, while tough, the actual militia killer did all of this to stop and create some peace, and he wanted to stop the militia from running wild. This explains why he took over the place by force, as if the militia were left to cause chaos, it would end like it did. Now, Arasu actually then goes to steal the cards, but it was all a setup, as I love the fact that the code for where the cards are kept is actually boss backwards in numbers. Now, they're kept, and, well, it turns out that he was told the wrong safe, and Najiri gets the cards for himself. However, the entire place is locked down, and a witch hunt game is set up. A character was murdered, and it was the witch who sort of did it, and that witch needs to be found and burned. This is a 10 of hearts game, and it's the final card. Now, all hell breaks loose as they have 2 hours to find the witch, and it just chaos completely reigns. Now, Arasu would later, when he's released, he would actually suspect the militia leader of the crime, but it turns out that the girl did it herself. Now, she was one of 2 girls sent to sabotage the games, and while taken by the games masters, instead of playing games, they were there to ensure that people died. Now, one of the executives used forensics to work out that it was a reverse grip on the knife, and one of the girls distracts everyone to try and save people by saying that she is a dealer and was killed. She's killed because no one can know who she is. She actually recorded their experience of everything in the game and provided video evidence of where the game masters are, which is what they would do later in the episode of the finale. Now, eventually they were able to burn the body of the witch after the militia leader wanted to kill everyone. It turns out that one of the girls did kill herself, and we don't exactly learn too much of that before that, but we learn that they were kept in a cage and released every so often. Now, Arasu and Usagi head to where the people are who control the game once the whole beach community is completely done. Now, they go there and they find people who are dead. I found the finale game a bit of a mess, and the logic of just killing everyone felt weird when the forensic lady could have just been like, hey, chill, I've got an idea. But they reach the room, like I said, to find everyone dead, and Najiri also arrives because he's smart, as a special broadcast starts. It turns out that these were not the people behind the game, but are just a layer above the players. And it's revealed that one of the beach executives was behind it all along. And stage 2 starts, and will start the next day as they need to get the face cards. This is kind of stage 2, like a boss or something in Dark Souls that has like a billion stages, as we get gigantic airships appear with the face cards. Now, it's all to play for, as someone could realistically steal the cards, and I hope we get a season 2, as this was a smart and clever show, and if they can fix the pacing issues, it would be one of the best shows I think I've seen this year. However, some of the dubbed acting was questionable, so I think it might be a better idea to have subtitles there if you are watching the show. But that is it for this video, so please do drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on, and I will be bringing you a video on The Stand tomorrow and the finale of The Mandalorian on Friday. But that's it, and goodbye.